Hi there. Thank you very much for joining us on this Legacy Wealth web chat. My name is Jen, the head of marketing, and joining me today is Mary Barrett. She's worked for BMW, Barclays. She's a CEO, a Chief Enthusiasm Officer. She's a trainer. She's a coach, a hypnotherapist, and full disclosure right here, she's been working with us for 2 years, and she's making me better. Mary, how are you?
What a lovely introduction, Jen. Yes, I'm great, thank you. Really pleased to be joining you today.
So first things first, how are you holding up during this circuit breaker?
It's good. I mean, we're all adapting to the changes, and as everyone's saying, this is the new norm, and how can we make it work for us now that we know that there's more certainty about it staying the same?
Absolutely, and you're the perfect person to give us some tips on how to deal with this.
Great, I'd love to share some.
So what should we do in terms of the circuit breaker? Everyone's worried. It's the new normal. They have lack of human interaction. So what are some of the tips that you could do? You could help us with?
I think you're right, Jen. This is a really time where lots of boundaries are being blurred. Our home is now our office, is now our school, and everyone is fighting for space, physical space, but also head space. And people are feeling quite overwhelmed. They're doing back-to-back online Zoom or phone calls. And people are not giving themselves any capacity or permission to just take a break through this time. So I like to imagine that each person is their own house. And you've got 4 rooms in your house. And it's a good idea to visit each of those rooms on a daily basis. And I'd like to maybe talk about 2 specifically today. And one of those rooms is the learning room. And that's where we learn, we grow, we write, we read, we find new information. And I would say that room at the moment is being used to the utmost for most people, who are having to learn, adapt to the way of working, children having to learn a new way of working, businesses are finding new ways of working. So that learning room has been really quite overwhelming for some people. So my recommendation is that you visit at least one of the other rooms in your house on a daily basis, which is your physical room, because that's actually the antidote. And the physical room is really thinking about what you're eating, having regular exercise. I say more broccoli and water. Having regular exercise, even if it's 20 minutes you get in the day, the scientific benefits are proven for even 20 minutes exercise a day. And the key one, which I've had lots of feedback about from people, is people are finding it really challenging to sleep at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's the critical one. Out of all of those 3 in the physical room, the sleep one is the one that gives you the most respite and can impact your performance the most. And I think part of that is because of the people are online, 12, 13, 14 hours a day, and they're coming off their online work device to go onto their Netflix or visual device to unwind, and therefore they're not giving their brain a chance to just calm down, step away from the blue light, and just give them some downtime. So certainly that physical room is a really good antidote to some of the learning room that we're going through today.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. So in other words, you've got to keep your mind and your body active. So which leads to the next question, how important it is to have a routine, because this is the new normal. We don't have a physical space to go to in terms of an office and then coming back and seeing your family. Is a routine then even more important?
I would say absolutely. If you think about it, our way of working has changed, but our way of thinking about our working hasn't changed yet. So we're still actually, in the change. So routine is absolutely critical. And if you listen to people that have been successful in solitary confinement in AA security prisons, the thing that's let them survive in a 12x8 a cell has been having a routine, having physical exercise, and educating themselves. This is the thing that keeps you through. So routine is even more important. And I think because we haven't had those rules before, we need to give ourselves permission to put boundaries around ourselves. And I think, we've been in Singapore 6 weeks in lockdown. Many people haven't given themselves permission to take a day's holiday in that time. And normally in this time, people have had some type of break. So we need to have that break, and we need to have a routine, and we need to start our day and end our day and give ourselves those strict timings, because nobody's going to do it for us. We have to do that for ourselves.
That's excellent tips. So routine, give yourself a break. And of course, like you said before as well, we're going from Zoom calls, meetings to just, entertainment for us, watching Netflix. So there's a lack of human interaction. What are some of the tips, and how do you deal with that? I mean, I have the opposite. I've got too many children at home, so there's a lot of, I wouldn't say grown-up interaction just with kids, but I mean, how do you deal with the lack of human interaction?
It's really interesting because each demographic has its own challenges, so there's the families at home that there's too much interaction. There's the people that live on their own, they're in full isolation, and there's sort of some people in between that. And I think, when we look at meaningful social connection, it is in those three areas. It's the intimate connection with your partner, it is your connection with your family and friends, and it is, what's really important, the connection with your community or tribe. And if your work tribe has been your community and you now haven't got that, you have to be proactive about connecting to people. And I personally book in every day an uplift meeting. So I have an uplift meeting with someone that nourished and uplifted and feeling positive about the world, just to feed that community and tribe need that we have as humans.
And what's your take on dressing up or not dressing up at all? I know it's a bit of a mix. Some say I'll just stay in my pajamas all day. Some say it's important that you actually have to dress up as though you would dress up on the normal day going to work, and then you dress down when you go to sleep. What is your take on that?
It's really interesting because, Jen, I love a pair of pajamas. However, when I put my pajamas on, psychologically, the message I'm giving to my mindset is about relaxing, chilling out. I wouldn't be going for my top performance interview wearing my pajamas. And even if we look at the latest, The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, he wore his number 23. When he was going out to perform, he put on his best shirt because he wanted to make his best performance. So I really recommend you dress up, you put on your uniform, which triggers your unconscious mind that I'm in work mode, I'm in peak performance, and I want to deliver today.
Mary, that's all fantastic tips. Now, if you could help us just to summarize it and give us your top 3 tips to deal with just this circuit breaker.
Okay, definitely set yourself a routine, give yourself boundaries, a working starting time and a working finishing time. Put down your device at least 30 minutes to an hour before going to bed. And even if you start with 5 minutes, it's a start. Get into the habit of doing that. And the other thing is get some physical exercise. Get out, 20 minutes minimum every day. Even if the first day is just putting your trainers on, you get ready to go out the door. So really start to look after yourself and visit those rooms on a daily basis.
Mary, thank you so much for those tips. I feel better already.
My pleasure, Jen, my pleasure.
Now, if you want to get in touch with Mary, you can look for her via LinkedIn. We've got the links right here on this video. And also you can get in touch with us if you've got any questions. You can find us on Legacy Wealth or at our website at legacywealth.sg. Thank you so much for watching. Mary, thank you so much. Take care.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.